cautious. I've been warming up, so approach with caution. Yeah, up the heat, no cold feet, I'm locked in. Go against me, you might need a coffin. Where's the competition? Cause I don't see none. Matter of fact, there'll be none, so y'all can run the rerun. Show you how to work, I roll the sleeves up on my shirt. Built it from the ground, I had to rise some out the dirt.
Watch this, I'ma show you how I do it. Like a pro, gotta hustle, get through it. No sweat, look good when I'm moving. I'ma rise, and this'll do it. Watch this.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me here today. So my name is Assa Samake Roman. I'm a freelance journalist from France. I've been in Scotland for nearly 7 years. Time flies. And today I want to talk about a subject that's hugely important for me personally. And I don't think it gets the attention or the airtime it deserves. It's one of the things that touches every part of society. It's a critical piece of infrastructure. We all need it, directly or indirectly, and if it works properly, we'd all reap the rewards. I'm talking about childcare. What I would love to see is a massive, meaningful commitment in political party manifestos when it comes to childcare. Not just warm words, but a plan for accessibility, affordability, and quality. A whole system, we think, nothing less. Because imagine what a Scotland with a truly excellent childcare system would look like. I love imagining this country. It would be beautiful, and I think that would be something to be really proud of. Parents could actually work the hours they want to work. Children would get a head start, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Women would be freer to return to work, to study, or to build a business. Early year staff would be respected, well-trained, and properly paid. The economy would benefit from more people in work. Communities would feel more connected, and the mental health toll of constantly scrambling to patch together care with ease. That's what we could have, this is what we need, but we are not there. Right now, parents are still paying some of the highest costs in Europe for a service that is very difficult to access. There are long waiting lists, providers are struggling, shortage of staff, turnover is massive, and parents are stressed. And the 1,140 hours of funded care, while significant and hard-won, doesn't always translate into actual usable hours on the ground. And here's the thing, we are paying a premium price. Families are, yes, but also the Scottish government. And yet, it's a system where no one is willing. Not the children, not the staff, not the parents. So where is the money going? Well, a large part of it goes into keeping the system functioning without actually investing in what makes it thrive. And increasingly in the UK, that money leaks out of the system altogether. It goes into rent payments, into management fees, into debt servicing, into private equity structures, with allowed an essential public good to become part of an extractive economy. Take BCBs, one of the UK's biggest nursery chains. It's owned by the Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan. It has amassed hundreds of millions of pounds in debt, and is now repaying loans at scale. Nurseries pay rent to property-owning subsidiaries within the group, and they also pay internal management fees. On paper, a nursery might appear to be barely breaking even, but value is still extracted somewhere else in the structure. Right Horizons, another major chain, operates similarly. And the bigger these chains grow, the more fragile the system becomes. Their decisions are based not on local needs, but on financial performance across portfolios. When they close a nursery or raise fees, there's no democratic accountability. It all stems from a deep belief in this country that the market will magically solve everything. That competition makes services better, that private provision is automatically more efficient. But what that really means often is the state stepping back, not having to make decisions or set ambitious standards or fund infrastructure. And we're seeing the results. Parents have been squeezed, staff are burnt out, and public money is being used to prop up a market that is not delivering. And it doesn't have to be that way. municipal crash, hospital crash, associated structures, registered childminders, and yes, private providers too. But the difference is that the state plays a central role. It funds, it plans, and it regulates. And yes, it is still a market. It's a very different kind of market. One where the state is really much everywhere, not to control everything, but to shape the ecosystem in the public interest. Through a National Family Allowance Fund, called CAF, the state co-finances most crashes. Prices are income adjusted. National rules cover staff ratios, qualifications, safety, and even price caps. Local authorities help plan provision. And crucially, the public sector still runs a big part of the network. So if the private actor pulls out, the state is there, and that gives France the leverage to steer the market, rather than be steered by it. That's also why the dynamic in France is fundamentally different. There are private nursery chains, but they don't dominate the system. They operate alongside a strong, visible public sector. Most nurseries are municipal or non-profit. Private actors exist, but they function within a publicly led ecosystem. There's no illusion that the market will behave like a market and do its thing if there's no public oversight or regulation. In January of this year, the country took further steps to ensure the integrity of its childcare system. Following concerns about the practices of some private nurseries, a new law put forward by a socialist MP was adopted to implement urgent measures protecting children in private for-profit nurseries. This legislation introduced stricter regulations and oversight to prevent profit-driven motives from compromising the quality of care. And this law was supported across the political spectrum. Even the current, very pro-market, pro-business government voted for this law. It was a bipartisan effort reflecting the national consensus on the importance of safeguarding early childhood education and care. So, I'm not saying every nursery in Scotland should be nationalised, but I'm saying that the state has to own a significant share of the infrastructure if it wants to be able to regulate the market, to ensure access, to set fair prices and proper standards in the interest of the citizens it is meant to represent. At the heart of this issue, there's a serious question about what kind of economy we want. We have allowed childcare, like housing, like energy, to just become extractive. And that model is not working. It is unsustainable for families, it is unaffordable for governments, and it's unfair to workers. So we need a new vision, one that sees care as the foundation of a good society, one that recognizes early years, not just as a cost, but as an investment, and one that understands that freedom means knowing your child is safe and well cared for while you go to work, or study, or even rest. It happens to mothers too. So that's the vision of emancipation and empowerment that I would love to see materialize. Childcare is not a luxury, it's not a private concern, it's infrastructure for the general interest. Thank you.
Another day in the office, I've been warming up, so approach with caution. Yeah, up the heat, no cold feet, I'm locked in. Go against me, you might need a coffin. Where's the competition? Cause I don't see none. Matter of fact, there'll be none, so y'all can run the rerun. Show you how to work, I roll the sleeves up on my shirt. Built it from the ground, I had to rise from out the dirt.
Watch this, I'ma show